let's begin the show today. And the first topic that we are covering is credit score. How do you build a credit score? And if at all you do not have a good credit score, how can you correct it? I have with me Aparna Ramachandra, founder director, rectifycredit.com. Aparna, good evening and welcome to the show. There'll be a lot of questions related to your credit score or credit rating. But before that, why is it important for a person to have a good credit score? How relevant it is, and how do you build this kind of a history for yourself?
Good evening, Kavita. Good questions. Before we get into a good credit score, let us first understand why it is important to first have a credit score. Unless you have a credit, so only when you have taken some loans or use some credit cards is where your credit score starts to get generated. So if you've never taken any loan, you've never taken any credit score, suppose you're someone who's just started working, you still don't have a credit card, then what is called as no history. They are new to credit, so there is never a credit score for this person. So first thing first, only when you start using your cards, take loans is where your credit score, your credit profile starts to get built. Now, to understand, to answer your next question, what is it to have a good credit score? You should have very good financial discipline when it comes to taking credit more than because these are long term commitments. So whether it is a personal loan for about 3 to 5 years, whether it is a home loan for 20 to 25 years, or a credit card which is ongoing, the discipline has to be consistent. You cannot say intermittently I'm going to be good and intermittently I'm going to mess up. So these are all the reasons why, these are all the factors also which will help you build a credit profile and then a good credit score. Kavita.
All right. Definitely, it's important for one to have a very good credit score. But then, what is the normal range of the score that we are talking about? What is considered to be a good credit score, and what is considered to be as a bad credit score?
See, this is another myth that everybody has, that credit score is the deciding factor. So people say that I have 700 plus, so that's a good credit score. See, credit score is one of the parameters. What the lender is looking at is your complete credit profile. So there are instances where somebody might have a good credit score, but he has a bad credit profile. So what is very important for people to understand through your show is also to focus on building a good credit profile. So the lender is looking at the kind of loans and cards that you have taken, how well you have behaved with them in the past, whether there are any ongoing credit lines that are going on, and have you applied for too many cards or too many loans. So all these are the factors apart from the rest is what the lender is looking at before giving you a loan, right? So credit score on its own is not the deciding factor, but for commonsensical purposes, if someone is looking at, say, for an unsecured product like a personal loan or a credit card, anything above 750 is a good score. So we are talking about a range of 300 to 900. And let me tell you, this is not the IIT or the STEM standard mark sheet that nobody has a 900 score. So anything which is above 750 is a good score to go with. Kavita.
Right. All right. But then what's the maths behind it, Aparna? How much credit score is impacted by doing, by not doing what? I mean, for example, if you just miss a payment, so how much of your score would be impacted? Is there a calculation or a capping done that, for one mistake or one bad credit behavior, you'll be down this many points? Is there something like that?
Each of the credit bureau has its own algorithm basis which these scores are calculated. So this is like the Coke's formula. So this is a secret sauce that no credit bureau reveals. But what we have over the period understood is credit card is one product that has a very immediate effect, good or bad. So if you mess up with your credit card payments, you default or you delay, your credit score and your credit profile nosedives. At the same time, when you go back to building your credit profile, it is again the credit card that really catapults your whole profile. So, to answer your question in a very simple manner, if you delay if you default, or you have too many inquiries for new loans, new cards, and correspondingly those are not getting approved. These are your large reasons why your credit profile takes a beating, and obviously the credit score also goes low.
Uh, Aparna, we're also talking about 4 to 5 credit bureau agencies, which financial institutions actually are in touch with, which is the most preferred one. And if you would just know their algorithm and their criteria of building up a credit score, what would that be? And is it important to have a good credit score across all of these agencies? Because banks refer to a lot of credit score agencies, so if maybe if there are five, so out of five, three have a good score given you and two they don't have a good score for you. Do banks take the decision based on those three or all of them, being in the positive territory?
In India, we have four credit bureaus. So there is CIBIL, there is CRIF Highmark, there's Experian, and there is Equifax. So we have four credit bureaus. Invariably, if you check on one particular day across the four bureaus, there may be a difference of between 20 to 50, across the four bureaus. But there is never like a 200-300 difference. And this difference is because of their own subjective algorithm that is in play. Most of the banks are aligned to a particular bureau, so either it is CRIF, IMAR, or CIBIL. So between the two is where most of the banks take a decision. It is very rare that they go back to a third score, or take an average of the two. Invariably it is between these two bureaus that banks take a most of the banks and NBFCs take a call before they decide to approve that loan or the credit.
All right. Aparna, now let's help people create the right kind of credit score, or let's help them correct their credit score. What is the most common mistake that you think people do by default and it impacts the credit score?
Based on my experience, there are three things. One is when you cannot pay the credit card bill in total, don't make the minimum payment and sit. Go as much as you can towards the closure amount, so that the penalty that you accumulate by the next month is not humongous, and you are able to salvage the situation in maybe 2 or 3 cycles. When you may, there are times when all of us have seen, we have a credit card bill of say 32,000, but it says minimum due is only 1,200 or 1,600. Now if you pay only that much, the interest that you pay the next month is that bigger difference, and on that there is like a 2.5-3% plus GST and all of that. So it becomes very difficult to get out of it. So one is, make more towards closure. Don't stick at minimum payments as much as you can. Number two, when you take these time bound loans like an education loan or a personal loan, it is very important that you close that loan properly, collect your NOC on time, and within 2 to 3 months, check your credit report to make sure that your lender has updated your loan details, and this is updated as closed and there is no outstanding shown on that loan. Lot of people mess up here, where they assume that they have paid the last EMI for some XYZ reason, that EMI doesn't get cleared, and then it just remains hanging, and next thing you know, the bank has reported you as a defaulter, and there is a huge amount that has gotten added up. So that is the second reason. Third reason is, when if you know that there is going to be a delay in payment consistently. See, one of say, even if there is a 20-day delay or a 25-day delay, the lender understands, and when you inform them, then there is a more benevolent view. But if you don't talk to your lender when you are messing up, then you land up in a bigger soup. So when, say, on a credit card, say for example, today is the 23rd, your due date was 22nd. So from 21st, 22nd, 23rd, the collection calls start to come. Please answer those calls and tell them that this month there is an issue. I'm going to be paying a little late, but don't dodge those calls. When you dodge those calls is where the problem just multiplies further. So it is very, very important to talk to your lender. And if there is any understanding that you and the lender agree upon, put that in writing and get a confirmation in writing. Not just do a WhatsApp to your relationship manager, or to a customer service call and there is no confirmation after that, because later on you have nothing to fall back on. So these are few things, if people take care, then most of their problems are already resolved. Kavita.
Aparna, how much time does it take for a credit score to get good?
Usually the first month, say for example this month of May, you begin to start your rectification process. The first month is where all your corrections happen, and the subsequent month is where your new profile starts to get built. So anywhere between 30 to 45 days is overall a good period by when the things start to change.
All right, I think that will be all. And this is almost like a masterclass of how to build a credit score. Thank you so much, Aparna, for being on the show and helping our viewers with all the details. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavita.
All right.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.